walked up the road, not from the street. I pulled up the rug, right from their feet. They all think they're the first to do it, spitting lyrical, thinking that the rest are foolish.
Where's one?
Ciao, buongiorno ragazzi, wherever you are and whatever time it is in the world. Welcome along to another edition of the Inter Worldwide podcast. Once again, apologize for the time lapse in between podcasts, but we have been getting some good media out. Check out our YouTube, check out the announcements of the official signings that have happened so far, and to, of course, keep yourself updated in the realm of Inter, which is busy. And I got two of my homies on the line to chat a little bit of shit about the current status of the media, and we are calling this podcast the Media's Mercato. If you remember, our last edition was called Marotta's Mercato. This time it seems though the media is dictating a little bit of the traction and the progress. Shout out to my two guests, Mario Galliano. How you doing, man?
Not too bad, hanging in there.
Absolutely, aren't we all? And the realist Rivas, what's going on, my dude?
Excited to do this raw and uncut show just the way Mario likes it.
Oh, shit. What a start.
Uncut like my foreskin.
Oh, you mean raw?
Man, don't make me edit so early, bro. It's 1 minute into the podcast, man. You guys are a liability. Shit. All right, so too much media, too much negativity, but you got three soldiers on the line here, ragazzi, who are willing to take a more optimistic and realistic approach to the headlines lately. So I'm just going to throw it over to the two boys generally. First of all, Mario, what do you make of the semi-panic situation going around the directors and the board and the fans at the moment? Do you think it's all just overhyped, or do you think there's some substance to it?
There's always an overhype when it comes to Inter, no matter what it is, whether it's the preseason, whether it's losing a friendly, some guy gets hurt in training, some guy looks at another guy the wrong way. So I feel like it's just all smokes and mirrors for right now. So it's like a whole big ruse that we see time and time again. Am I worried? No, we got Conte, who's going to whip everyone into shape. Marotta, who's going to figure something out and how to, sign the players we need to sign and get rid of the dead weight. One way or another, it's going to happen. So I'm just sitting back and waiting until October to make a decision.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Sounds realistic. Unlike the majority of our fan base, wherever they're situated. Christian Rivas, I know you're not one to look at the headlines too subjectively at all. So tell me, what's your reaction been the last few days, man?
I'll say it's kind of both. It's overhyped, but there's got to be some substance to it. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure that they don't like fucking Conte calling him out like that, you know? It's kind of putting Sonny on the spotlight like, yo, you guys went and got this top coach. Now it's time to behave like a top club now that you got a top coach. You can't be mad at Conte if the headlines are true where he's upset with Sonny because, let's be serious, guys, a couple of weeks into the preseason, this guy doesn't have his full squad. And the season's coming up real soon, so it's time to give him what he wants. Just get it done, get it over with, even if we got to move on to different targets.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd agree to an extent, but I'm kind of comparing Inter's Mercato so far with other clubs, and I got to say, ours is still pretty good. July kicked off really well. We announced goods in on the first day. Lazzaro was wrapped up really easily. We absolutely snaked Sensi from Milan, who were biding shitloads of time in that deal, and we just grabbed him from underneath. We got the $45 million man in Barella, in which heaps of clubs wanted. So I don't think it's 100% accurate to say that Conte didn't get exactly what he wanted, but as you just said, he's a top coach with top demands, and he made it clear from day one he wants his squad ready by day X. It's currently day Y, and it will be day Z tomorrow. So I guess we're just going to have to see what goes on. But in terms of Conte so far, Mario, have you taken any observations from preseason training? Have you watched any of the videos on the Inter YouTube? What have your thoughts been around Conte's first, I think it's about 2 weeks since he came in. What are your thoughts so far, Mario?
I haven't watched much of anything because, to be honest, this means nothing to me. Everyone's just getting back in shape, and Conte's trying new things with different players that he might be seeing for the first time in his life. So I don't really think it's much to go off of. If I did watch it, what am I going to watch? Perisic scoring a bicycle, Ranocchia scoring a header, or completing 4 passes in a row? I don't really care for it, to be honest. But I do like that he's just shaking stuff up in the headlines, calling people out. Maybe he's saying, if he said, I saw something about Perisic that he might not be the right fit for a left wing back or whatever the case was. I don't know if he's just trying to put smoke under his ass or light a fire or some shit, or if he just wants to, talk his shit, get him out. Either way, um, he'll make it work. So we have him. We fought for him, I think, and I don't know. We'll see from there. I don't really look at any headlines or anything like that until it says official Inter.it. We signed this guy, and he's about to end his career.
Yeah, fair enough. And I'll switch over to Christian. I'll keep the topic general. Conte so far, Christian. I know you were a big fan of him before we signed him. So was I. So was Mario. We had a couple of names that we were interested in replacing Spalletti, but we agreed mutually on a podcast a while back towards last season's end that we'd be happy with any one of either Mourinho or Conte. Rivas, what are your thoughts on Antonio's start at Inter, and are you happy so far with what you've seen?
Well, so far I enjoy seeing him whipping everybody into shape. The two-a-days have been nice. Yeah, I watched a couple of videos, unlike Mario. I kind of like what I see. This guy's really trying to get these guys motivated. After the workouts, it's nice to see him go up to each and every single one of them and shake their hands and pull them up. It shows like he's really there. He's really there, holding their hands, making sure that they're going through this workout and they're understanding what they're going through, and he's really checking their mental stability. Also, real quick, back to the Mercado, what you stated, I'll give the Mercato a C plus at best, probably a C to be honest. The main reason I will is because we haven't really addressed the main need, and that's for a striker. So until we get that striker, this Mercato has only been a C plus at best.
Yeah, all right, fair enough, fair call. Before I throw that little concept out to Mario, I would have to agree. I'd maybe go a little bit higher, give it a C plus or a B minus. My reasons for not giving it a good mark are very, very simple. We are a horrible selling club in Italy at the moment. One of the key objectives before Conte came in was to clean house, establish some funds. We did clear ourselves of financial fair play, albeit through the sales of a bunch of Primavera youngsters. Me personally, I don't know about anybody else, but I wanted to see the likes of João Mario and Dalbert and Borja Valero transferred out, or Gabigol as well transferred out well before those youngsters. Mario, I'll switch it up to you. In terms of the players leaving, are you a little bit worried that we won't be able to sell some of the dead wood like Dalbert or João Mario?
It's worrisome. I mean, these are players that we should just be selling for whatever we can at this point. I don't know if they're being too particular with their asking price or if there's just absolutely no interest, which I highly doubt because there's always a place for somebody. But I just worry that Icardi's going to get stuck with us again, and that's really the only issue. If we sell him, it's a great market. I don't care. We could have bought nobody, sold Icardi. I give it an A. So
yeah.
That's really what I'm just waiting for him to go, and then you'll see everything else just fall into place.
Yeah, absolutely. Time to plug and check out that Icardi FC. That's Icardi FC on Facebook if you haven't already, for all your latest Icardi, for all your latest Mauro Icardi legitimate, objective football news. Christian Rivas, we're going to stay on that topic, man. Mauro to me looks like he's on his way out. I had a couple of people phone me from Italy this week saying that the Napoli interest is actually serious. It's not just fabricated headlines, and that Napoli is most likely the destination as a part to Juve. And that makes a lot of sense because when you analyze both squads on paper, Juve are stacked to the brick shithouse up front in all directions, whereas Napoli are in dire need of that target hitman to play the system that Ancelotti wants. Christian, you want to see Mauro gone just as much as Mario does, surely. At this point, what offer would satisfy you? Or Christian, I'll ask you differently. Where do you stand in terms of redeeming Mauro? Because I'm a little bit agitated at the fact that we may not get much money for him. But at this point, are you with Mario and saying we should just sell him for whatever?
No, I kind of think that if Napoli comes with the 60 mil or 70 mil, we'll take it and run. If they don't and Juve comes with 40 mil, I'd rather hold him on, make him rot on the bench, let him run his career out. Fuck it. Like, bro, come on, man. You've had opportunities. You're not going to dictate where you want to go at this point.
Nah, sell him to Juve.
He's been a little prima donna and a dick lately. And he's like, oh, I want to redeem myself. Nah, dude, that went out the window last year when he faked the knee injury, you know? So at this point, you're gonna go where we tell you to go. If you don't like it, let your career end. That's not my problem. You want to be a little diva and sit on the bench and collect the check? Fine, go ahead. But it's not our career at the end of the day. Your career is the one that's gonna get ruined. I guarantee it. If he sits out those 2 years,
He's
nobody's
done.
gonna touch him. He's
Game
done.
over, bro.
Nobody's gonna touch him because they're gonna look at him as liability at this point. Like, bro, you're really willing to sit out 2 years, and by the time he comes back, what would it be like 28, 29, maybe
Yeah,
30?
that's what I was about to say. The man is not 20 years old. He doesn't have 2 years up his cooler to just sit down and fuck around. He needs to be there now. Dude has missed 2 straight World Cups and 3 Copa Americas since he hit the scene. His career is over unless he makes a smart move here. Would you agree, Mario?
100%. I think it's a lose-lose for him, unless he goes to a place that actually wants him to start and just come off, and they'll take his bullshit. They'll put a blind eye like we did for so many years. That's why I feel like Juve is his best destination. He's going to go there. He's not going to start over the top 4 players that they have: Ronaldo, Cuadrado, Douglas Costa, and Dybala. Unless we get the swap, there's still 3 starters that Sarri's never going to rotate because he makes 3 subs a month, and it's usually the same person. So I'm not worried.
He's already pissed off Ronaldo in preseason by bringing him off, and Ronaldo said, as long as I'm okay, you have to keep me on. Sarri's the type of manager to just go with his gut, no matter who you are. You could be Maradona in your prime, and if Sarri wants to make a change, he'll change you off, no questions asked. So I'm already looking forward to the fact that an ego like Mauro walking into that team, I reckon it would be an absolute disaster, to be honest.
Oh, there's so many egos.
Yeah, absolutely shitting egos at the moment. But we're not going to talk too much about Juve, not just yet, because towards the end we'll talk a bit about tonight's fixture. For all those listening, by the way, we're recording this about 5.5 hours before our second International Champions Cup match against Juventus. Staying on that topic while we are here, did either of you manage to catch the Inter versus Manchester United match? Christian, you first.
You mean the snooze fest? Yeah, I saw it.
What, the whole game? Did you watch the full 90?
I want to say about 75 minutes.
Yeah, cool. What did you make of those 75, man?
Yeah, a bunch of kids getting an opportunity to go out there and play. I mean, you had a couple of. You saw Brozovic do what he does. Sensi was decent. Barella was decent. But again, not having any strikers up there, we looked so toothless. It was a waste. It was a waste to have one shot the whole match. But the defense was solid.
Oh, man, that's what I was saying to a couple of fans the other day. They were like, oh, man, we played shit. We didn't look good from minute 1. I'm like, dude, did you watch the first half? This is preseason. It's experimental time. And we sat back and we defended really well in the first half. Conte was experimenting with the type of formation that he wanted to use against a high-pressing team. And I actually think against a team like Manchester United, who has gone all in on this preseason in terms of developing a couple of youth players up, bringing in a couple of flair players, one Bissaka at right back. They're a hard-pressing team. They were pressing us to the shit in that first half. Took a long time for them to get the goal, so I wasn't that unimpressed by Inter's first half, to be honest. And then, as Rivas just said, it's preseason. Any preseason game that allows you to make 8 or 9 copious substitutions at once can't necessarily be taken seriously as a tactical match. Mario, did you catch any of the Manchester United Inter fixture, and what did you think?
I didn't see it, but I was reading a lot about it because, it's just been posted all over the place on Facebook, Twitter, whatever. And people are going crazy. I'm like, yo, Manchester starts their season in 3 weeks? Not even. We started our season. We just started our preseason, the week before?
Yeah,
so,
AC Milan just played their first game today, 2 hours ago.
That's what I'm saying. If you're going crazy over these stupid preseason games so early, I feel bad for you. I think you need to reevaluate everything you stand for as an Inter fan. Look at the players they used to start: De Gea, Luke Shaw, Lindelof, Pogba, Matic, Lingard, Rashford, Martial. Look who we started: Esposito, Longo, Candreva, Dalbert, De Vrij, D'Ambrosio, Skriniar, center back. Our midfield was Sensi, Brozovic, Gagliardini. It's not like...
Yeah, I get what you
It's kids. There's two young forwards that they're just getting in their fitness. Conte probably wants to see if he can use them at all during the year. Sensi, throw him in because why not? And then the back three is just experimental with Ambrosio as a makeshift center back. But
It was pretty solid, bro. That
He's
back
doing
three
very
was
well.
solid.
He's
that's
doing
what I'm.
very well so far.
That's why we keep him. That's why he should be the captain. But whatever. That's for another time. We didn't play Perisic, and he didn't start. We put in Borja Valero, even Ranocchia came on him. While they're putting on, all
While
their
we're
big
on this
guns.
conversation, and we're kind of speaking about Conte, did you get when he said that Dalbert actually had a decent day, a decent game?
Did he really?
Man,
Hell
yeah,
no.
he did say. No, he didn't actually have a good game, but he did say that.
No. He did
So,
say that. Dalbert was trash, bro.
so if I was playing Football Manager and I said Dalberto played good, would he respond as like, "What the fuck"?
And Dalbert, I don't know why we're haggling and differing these price offers. If Lyon, Lille, Nice, Rennes, any frog ass country from France comes in and offers, we should be trading him for snails, man, straight up. But because we purchased him so recently, I think he's still under that 3 year mark. It's going to show up as a negative on our books. So that's why we're haggling over that 2, 3, 5, 6 million. Apparently, it makes a big difference to us. You boys, what do you boys think about that?
Just sell him. I don't care.
Yes.
You
João
fucked him in the
Mario
first
is.
place.
I'm not too sure how it works in terms of João Mario because he's 4 years under our books now, I think. Just under 4 years. And, man, we bought him for 40. So whatever we sell him for, like, let's face it, we're not going to get more than 20, 22 million for João Mario. At the moment, clubs are looking like they're not even going to make a bid. Monaco has pulled out. Rivas, what would you do, just hypothetically, Rivas, if João Mario was staying on? He'd be pretty much the most deadwood midfielder we had. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, he'd be like the 20th choice. I don't know, bro. We screwed that one up. We had the opportunity to get rid of him. We should have just took it and ran.
Yeah.
I think he's still gonna get sold by the end of the Mercado. If he's not sold, he's gonna get loaned out. Something's gotta give.
Yeah, absolutely. We can't keep paying those sort of wages on the bench, man. We don't want to be doing that. All right, turning the attention back to the Mercato before we move on to whatever else we feel like chatting about today. Calcio Mercato today, Inter are contacting back for Roma and Dzeko. The latest details are that we are looking to satisfy Roma's demands and put down 15 million up front. It's just a few bonuses that are holding us back. Look, long story short, many people are commenting on the fact that Dzeko is going to be done this week. So I'm just going to go ahead and make the assumption that we are going to sign him and he is going to be the next one on the books because Conte has stated publicly that we need a striker. Man United are not budging on the 83 million on Lukaku, which is about 40 million too much in my book. And it looks like for under 20 million, we can wrap up Edin Dzeko to satisfy Conte at least temporarily until we satisfy the entire striking regime. Mario, your thoughts on Edin Dzeko? We've probably spoken once or twice before, but are you at least a little bit happy that this guy's coming in?
For like a year or two, yeah. I mean, I feel like he's still got some fight left in his tank. But if you're gonna pay like $20 million for a year, if we don't, finish second place and he scores 25 goals, then I don't really think it's worth it at that point. For him, I would try to get him as low as possible. Even wait till the deadline if you could. But I don't really think that they're gonna handle this right. I feel like they're going to end up overpaying. He's going to get hurt or some nonsense. Then we're going to be like João Mario 2.0, just throwing money at people that we kind of just feel we need but really don't.
That would absolutely suck. Christian Rivas, your thoughts on Edin Dzeko? I know you're kind of a bit of a fan, aren't you?
I think he's okay. He's not a bad player. He's pretty good. He's got good movements. The thing about it is, I'm kind of with Mario. I wouldn't put the 20 because honestly, Dzeko was going to be a sub. If the real plan was Lukaku and everyone's been saying Toto's going to start, he's the future. And Dzeko was coming to just be a bench player. He's going to be coming off the bench. He's going to be the sixth man, as they say in basketball. That's what he's going to be. He's going to be your sixth man. He's going to be coming in. He's going to be your super sub. He's going to be coming in during the last 30, 20 minutes of the game and try to score a goal or kill the clock. But honestly, I like I've been saying, that if we're not going to get Lukaku, let's get Cavani. There we
That's
go. We're
my
going to save
man.
40 mil.
That's my man. That's
That's
my
it.
man Christian, and that's my man Edison Cavani. So anybody who does follow the page and the YouTube's big up for doing that. But you would have heard or seen the video I released on Cavani, which was met with a fair bit of criticism, which is great. We love that. But I'm going to have to say I disagree with a lot of the criticism. I think Edison Cavani, for the reasons I mentioned earlier, would really, really fit Inter in the 3-5-2 under Antonio Conte. He's still got that little bit of grinta left. All Uruguayan players have it. But, you know, he's without that little scumbag scumminess that Luis Suarez comes with. But you can see Cavani, when he played for PSG, always giving 120%. He did not get the recognition he deserved last season. He became the club's all-time leading goal scorer, had the opportunity to win that accolade from the penalty spot, which is a great way to do it. You get that little bit of hype as you walk up. This is my moment in front of my home fans. Wooshka was not meant to be, as prima donna princess Neymar, hope he goes to Juve, comes out of nowhere and absolutely intercepts it and takes it from him. I'm a huge fan of Edison Cavani. I think he is able to take a player on really well. He's able to drop down a little bit deep on that left wing side, even if he is playing as a striker, collects the ball about that 15 to 20 yards out, a little bit further back than your average striker would, and can really take on a man and distribute it to someone else. Mario, can you give us a few reasons why you'd be all for Edison Cavani coming in, even at the ripe age of, is it 31?
I think he's
Yep.
32.
31, 32, around that bracket. Talk to us, Mario.
You bring up some good points, but none of them really actually show how good Cavani is. You're leaving out the fact that he played for Palermo. The more players you have from Palermo, the more likely you are to win a Scudetto, Champions League,
So
World Cup.
you're saying, I'm just going to interrupt. You're saying we should sign Marco Bresciano, retired Australian midfielder, to complement Brozo and Barella in the midfield three?
Not as a starter, maybe as like a super sub, in the 93rd minute, right before the refs will have to blow the whistle to waste some time. Yeah, but the more Palermo players you have on the roster, you're gonna win games. I guarantee you. World Cup 2006, half the lineup was from Palermo. That's all you need to know. That's my only point.
That's all. That's all for you and Cavani.
That's all 5 of my points.
Awesome. Rivas, talk a little bit more about why you like Cavani, a little bit more about his style of play, and how you think he could fit under Conte, maybe.
How much time do I got?
Ugh,
Just say Palermo.
the floor is all yours. I'm just dancing on it.
All right, so it's probably gonna be like a 5-minute analysis, just to let you know. I freaking love Cavani, bro. Honestly, he's probably, in my opinion, he's top 3. At the worst, he's 4 in terms of strikers out there, And I get it. Nobody really likes Luis Suarez, but man, when the both of them are together, they're killers. Cavani's just a straight boss, dude. Like, he's very physical. He's gonna sit there and he's gonna line up against your biggest center back, and he's sit there and he's gonna try and muscle him. He's going to sit there and get in his head. He's going to play the games. He's going to sit there, drift out to the side. He's going to try and collect the ball and cut it in. And especially for a striker like Lautaro Martinez, it's going to open up some holes for him. And it's really going to open up the game for him to kind of play the way he wants to play. And that's the thing about why people don't understand that Icardi and Toto cannot play together. 2 different type of strikers, all right? Cavani is the type of guy that's going to be physical, and he's going to sit there and he's going to go right at you. Icardi's not a physical striker at all. Let's get that out the window.
He doesn't have much physical attributes to begin with. He's not fast. He's not strong. He's not quick.
Exactly. And this is what Cavani brings there. He's strong. He's got a little quickness to him. Yeah, he's not as fast as he used to be, but he's from Palermo, so he'll make it up, And I just think having a striker of his quality, especially with his experience, will really help groom a player like Toto. And on top of that, Cavani's going to get you a good 20 goals this season, bro. Hands down, and especially in Conte's style of play with the 3-5-2, it's really going to benefit him, and he's going to flourish from it. I personally think Cavani's the right type of player for our system. I think he's the player we need. I get it. Lukaku also fits the dimensions of what Conte wants. A very strong physical player, but the thing that Cavani brings that Lukaku doesn't is Cavani has a touch. He's a good dribbler. He's got good control of the ball. His eyes are always up. He's looking to distribute, and that's the one thing that works really well with him and Suarez is that he pulls a lot of the heat from Suarez and opens up the space for him. Same thing that Suarez does for him when he's on the ball. They open up and they create for each other, and that's the one thing that's going to work really good in the 3-5-2 for Toro and Cavani, because you're going to have two strikers that are deadly. Now, one might be more physical than the other, and the other plays secondary. You know, he's going to play your support striker. But I think Cavani's the right player for our system, bro. I just think for 40 mil, it's a steal. There shouldn't even be no negotiation. You want 40 mil? Here. We're about to spend 80 on fucking Lukaku. We'll take the 40. Here's 40. Let's take the other 20. Go get Dzeko, and we'll take the other 20 and take it back to the bank.
Fair enough, man. I don't think it's going to end up anywhere near 40, to be honest. He's on the last year of his contract. The most I heard, the biggest price would have been about 30. For that, I would actually absolutely hit the ground running and take it. And if we can negotiate it down, which, let's face it, we've got Beppe Marotta at the helm now, I guarantee you he can pull a few strings. Maybe even send a Dalbert or a Jao Mario the other way to cushion the blow. Who knows? That would be ideal. Staying on our striker situation, just as Rivas ended it off, it looks like Inter are cooling their interest in the one, the only red Romelu Lukaku, who, you know, let's face it, he gets a fair bit of stick left, right, and center. But let's not forget the kind of player he was at Everton. Very agile, was able to move around defenders and scored some fantastic goals. He also banged over 25 goals in his first year at Manchester United. So I'm not here to jump on the Romelu Lukaku is shit train. I'm here to jump on the get the F out of here with that 83 million euro Ed Woodward train, because the factors don't put you in a strong bargaining position, brother. 83 million euro for what? For a player that not one fan wants to see on that pitch next season in a Man United jersey. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has no plans to include him even for 1 minute in that team, and he looks to have fallen out with his teammates, not to the extent that they're having dramas, but let's not forget, when Romelu Lukaku signed for Manchester United, there was a whole goddamn video of him and Pogba shaking hands, dancing and clapping around a pool like they were best mates. You can't tell me they're best mates anymore if he wants to jump ship. So it looks like Lukaku's leaving that little friendship core in Manchester United, and he's made his decision. On top of that, he's publicly stated time and time again that his dream is to play in Italy. His brother plays in Italy, and he's been photographed on Venice Beach in Nerazzurri colours. Whew, man, that took a while. Christian Rivas, are you happy that we're cooling the interest in Romelu Lukaku because he was grossly overpriced, or what?
Yeah, I think the price was a little hectic in my opinion. 60 million would have been the limit for me, considering that he's out of their plans. I mean, he's still a talent. You know, I'm not going to sit there and say he's not. The max I would have gone 60. Realistically, I was thinking about 55. But I knew Man United wasn't going to sit there and take an L on that. They want to get what they can, and they know Inter want them, and they're going to press them for it. At this point, you got to look at it. Do you want to make the money, or do you want to get stuck with a player? And if Inter back out, nobody else is stepping up for them. So what are you going to do?
Yeah, so I guess both have a hand to give and both have a hand to protect in this situation. Is that what you're saying, Rivas, both United and Inter?
Pretty much. You know, it's the same thing that we're doing with Dalbert and Joao Mario. We don't want to take an L on this. But at the end of the day, we don't want them. So why keep holding them hostage? Just get rid of them.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Mario, your thoughts on Romelu Lukaku, my friend? Sorry about that. Almost got disconnected. What are your thoughts on Rom? Because I'm pretty sure, Mario, you wouldn't be splashing 83 mil on that dude.
Hell no. That's freaking nonsense for a player like him. Think of it. They bought freaking Pogba for 90 million. Are you saying Lukaku, the return on investment on 83 million on Lukaku is anywhere near what you would get for Pogba? Let's be serious. Lukaku can't control a soccer ball if his life depended on it. Sure, he'll body people, but you know this isn't the UFC, so I don't really think what he has to offer is even as much as Icardi has to offer us at this point, because, you know.
Wait a minute. Oh,
Here we go.
Hey, Anthony, I just hear right?
Yeah, they both suck.
No.
Run it back.
No. Don't give me that shit. You just said Icardi has a lot more to offer than Lukaku.
No, I said he might not have as much.
No. Do we got instant replay on this?
No, you don't.
I'll check it for you later on. Don't you worry. Timestamp. I'll timestamp that shit.
He said That Icardi offers more than Lukaku.
A little bit, yeah.
He can probably finish better than Lukaku.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. So I just want to make sure you're giving him credit because this is a rarity. I have to point
is
it
a
out.
rarity.
I think I might
Well,
have to take
you're
the
talking
snippet and
about
put it on the Cardi FC.
Listen, you're
Yeah.
talking about two bottom tier strikers right now. It's not. It's like comparing, shit to like a little bigger piece of shit. It's
Does the
it's
shit
just
have
really
corn in it?
exactly. You want to see if you have blood and corn in it. One has blood, the other one doesn't. It's a really shitty situation.
It is. You could pick many different hitmen from the list of strikers in the world that you'd want. I'm going to just come out of nowhere and say I was really keen on signing Duvan Zapata, but it appears Atalanta have grown a brain and some balls over the Mercato since they made the Champions League. Kudos to them. They should do everything they can to hold on to their star men. But I'm just breaking up the serious conversation for a sec to throw it out to the boys with a quick question. Mario, if you could list any striker in the world to come to Inter, who would it be and why? Taking out of context all media rumors and everything like that, name the hitman or the striker you want to replace Icardi, Mario.
Oh man.
I know I put you on the spot. But think about it. Think about the teams in your head. Rivas, you got some time.
This is easy.
Okay, I got it.
Who is
Lewandowski.
Yeah,
that was.
But that's not mine though. But that would be the next one.
Who's yours?
Mine's the biter, bro.
Luis.
Yeah.
The most hated player of all time.
Bro,
but as
I
soon
don't
as he put
care
his jersey on his scores, I shoot his ass.
He's a fucking dog in every sense possible.
Yeah.
Bro, regardless if you like him or not, I cannot think of a better striker than him in the world. Yeah, I like Lewandowski. That's my number 2 striker in the world, to be honest. Number 1 is Suarez, bro. He's complete. This guy is a dog. He's filthy. He's going to get the ball. He can dribble. He can do everything. He can create. Bro, what can't he do?
He can do everything. He's a great player. He's a world-class player, and that's why he's been able to get away with so much dog shit behavior over the years. Me personally, Lewandowski represents the complete package. Tall as all hell. Great ball control, like he stands at 5'10", can dribble around inside and out, can lay off a pass, and his finish is top 3 in the world, can also hit it from far out. But asking him to leave Bayern Munich when he's basically guaranteed a Bundesliga every single season and a cracking default run at the quarterfinals of the Champions League under 16. I don't know, man. I don't think Marotta could pull that kind of transfer off. Rivas, do you think these kind of transfers are realistic, Suarez, Lewandowski, or do you think this is the exact reason why we're linked to the 32-year-olds of Dzeko, Cavani?
Well, I mean, Suarez is up there in age too, and it's not like Lewandowski's not up there either.
Yeah, but, true.
Side note, why the hell my boy just sent me a picture of him and Courtois? What a dick.
Oh, at the club?
Good.
For all of those listening, Rivas has got the hookup at a couple of bars and clubs, and he decided to appear on our podcast tonight instead of going to the club. Rivas, do you want to tell all our listeners who rocked up to the club just after we started recording?
Yeah, fucking Madrid. What the hell?
Real Madrid just defeated Arsenal on penalties and is in LA, right?
DC.
In DC. And they took their party to the club near yours. And Christian Rivas, what a loyal follower, full big up to Rivas, stayed home to record this podcast with me. I bet he wishes he was out clubbing with the Madrid boys, yeah?
Yeah, because I was going to wear my Brozovic jersey just so fucking Modric could see it.
Oh, so basically what you're saying is you were going to be the plug to get Modric to Inter this summer.
I was going to sit there and say, why the fuck didn't you come last summer, retard? But that's a different story. But anyways, back to the conversation at hand. Yeah, man, Barca's not going to sell Suarez. You know what I mean? They're not going to put him on the market. And Barry's not going to put Lewandowski on the market. And that's the reason why we're tied to Cavani and Dzeko. In order to get Suarez, we're going to have to fork out like 70 or 80 mil. Just, it is what it is. And same thing for Lewandowski. Those two clubs are not really selling clubs, you know? And that's kind of the thing about my whole thing about negotiating with PSG. We really don't have to negotiate because PSG isn't the type of club that's going to sell a player.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there as well. And, basically Barcelona, after their bow out in the Champions League this season. They're looking to come back next season with a vendetta, signing Griezmann, looking likely to sign Neymar as well. I really don't think Suarez is jumping ship to any other club in the world at the moment. In terms of staying on strikers, go on.
For the record, Barcelona is probably the dumbest run club in the world. All right, they buy all these attackers, but their defense is fucking trash. That's all I wanted to say.
No, it's okay.
No. I'm going to piggyback on the back of that because I'd have to agree as well. They've had to sort their defense, their centre-back situation out properly since bloody Carlos Puyol retired. And here they are splashing bullshit amounts on Malcolm and giving him, 4 starts a season? Like,
yep.
Honestly, man, the project seems like it's run wrong. But I guess when you turn over as much money as Barcelona, you don't care, right, Rivas?
Oh, I think they're not really in it for Champions League. I think at this point, they're just in it for the money. It doesn't make sense. And like I've been telling you, a bunch of these loser Barca fans that I know, don't worry. The day's going to come when Messi retires, and that club's going to go back to being one of the little whipping boys in Europe. I don't see them sustaining anything after Messi leaves, to be honest.
Yeah, they got really lucky that they had the luxury of shipping out the best player in the world, Ronaldinho, to make way for the next best player in the world for Messi. So I'm going to coast off Rivas again. I hope you Barca fans who've been spoon-fed for the last 2 decades realize that a turnover period is definitely coming soon because the Messi hangover is going to be a real one, in my opinion. Mario, in terms of the Juventus fixture, we go up against our biggest rivals in about 4.5 hours' time in a friendly. There ain't no such thing as a friendly against these dogs. What do you feel going into this match, man? Are you excited to watch us go up against Sarri and Juventus? Are you excited to see Conte have to go up against the Ladri?
Yeah, it's an interesting fixture to see that it's like second friendly, third friendly.
He's not gonna wake up to watch it.
I'm not gonna watch it. I just want to see what happens after. Really, was in 4 hours or some shit. No chance. I'm not waking up that early. I got better things to do.
Like sleep.
Exactly. So, whatever. I don't really care too much to watch it, but I want to see what happens after. I want to see the reactions from the Inter fans. How we lost to Juve, season's over, this and that. Well, and he puts out like 19-year-olds to start in goal. So, whatever.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. All the fans with the knee-jerk reaction where we make 13 subs in 3 minutes and they think that it actually represents a game of football. Absolute joke. Christian, you're probably someone that's going to wake up and watch it, and I look forward to chatting to you during. What are your thoughts going into this match? Do you think Conte has a point to prove even in a preseason friendly, or do you think all these matches are just overhyped to the shit and it's just a training run out for the boys?
Well, personally, I don't think there's much to see in this. He still doesn't have the strikers, so at this point, it's just whatever.
El Toro's still on holiday after the Copa America, see?
Yeah, remember, he lasted out a week longer than the Uruguay contingent that just showed up. So he's still got some time. I think he shows up next week, as a matter of fact.
There must be a clause in these professional players' contracts where they're entitled to a certain duration after their last professional minutes that they've played. Is that right?
Yeah, probably. It might be a month, to be honest, or at least 3 weeks vacation. If you think about it, if he shows up next week, it should be almost a month since the Copa America finished.
Yeah, I would have to agree. In terms of questions, we had a couple of questions sent in last week, about 8 days ago, and I've had to filter through them because some of them would have been answered by headlines by now. One of the questions I got from a guy called David in Adelaide, shout out to anybody in Adelaide listening, South Australia ting, but Politano was redeemed about 2.5 weeks ago, just before Conte took over pre-season training. A couple of rumors have come out this week saying that Politano doesn't fit his system. Anyway, the question from David a week and a half ago was, are you happy with the Politano redemption, and what role do you think he will play under Conte, seeing as though his defensive contribution is next to nothing? Shout out to David for a fantastic question with levels in that. I'm going to throw it out to Christian Rivas because I reckon it's a question you can answer really well, man. Politano,
I would say yes.
He can't play the right wing back. Rivas knows that. Take it away.
I would say yes. I'm happy with the redemption. I think he's going to play second striker. I also don't believe the rumors for the simple fact that we've seen Conte already come out and knock down a bunch of players saying that they don't fit where he wants them to play. So if he really felt that way, he would have said that about Poyetano already too.
I agree. Mario Galliano, can you take a quick response to this question as well, man?
He's either going to play as like a second striker, or he's going to have to be like a makeshift right wing back, left wing back sort of thing. He's going to have to, piece him in there somewhere as maybe not as a starter, but definitely as like an impact sub.
Yeah, sounds fair enough to me. One other question that came in from 3 different people, worded differently. Shout out to Darren, Surej, and Angelico. I've never heard that name before in my life. Angelico. All of which have sent in questions on Raja Knight. No, Angelico.
Oh.
That's pretty dope. I like it.
That is pretty dope. I like it as well. Sounds pretty fresh. Anyway, the question is, what are your thoughts on the Ninja, his wife's situation, and his social media presence? That one was from Angelico. The other one from Darren said, what do you think of us looking to move the Ninja on in the market? Do you think it's a wise decision? So both questions are relevant. I like the part about the social media thing at the end, because like I'm a superstitious guy, boys. I read into shit. And if Nainggolan's leaving, he's not behaving like a dude who's on his way out, taking his camera out, tagging his teammates and shit. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but Raja looks like a guy who's kind of leaning on his teammates and appreciating the support. And maybe he is sticking around a little bit longer. Mario, couple of levels to the questions. What do you think of Raja at the moment, his behavior, and do you want him to stay? And do you think he's going to stay?
I want him to stay. I feel like he still has something to give to this team, whether it's as a starting midfielder or even as just like a presence to training. He's gonna try to raise the level of the team in any way he can at this point. It really sucks to hear about his wife and her cancer. So I feel like he might just want to either stick around in Milano or find the worst case scenario, find a trade to somewhere where he can get her treated. Maybe like a New York or somewhere like that, or somewhere where he can be with his family. And the social media, I mean, I think now that Conte's starting to piece his team together, it's starting to become more of a family, especially with the culture that he brings with Marotta also, and all. Before Inter wasn't like a team that was a family. It was more of a bunch of individuals who, and then Icardi. So, it wasn't.
No one's going to disagree with you now, Mario. I mean, I feel for you. You spent the whole last season defending every single sentence that you said, and now people are just nodding and agreeing, bro.
I mean, yeah, if you didn't agree with me back in the day, then I kind of want to say you're welcome. I saw this a mile away. I'm like, the guy's an asshole. You put the asshole in charge, everyone else is either going to hate him or they're going to morph into his assholism. And then from there on, it's just you got a problem. So, the problem's going to be gone sooner rather than later. And if not, he's just going to have no part in the team. He'll be, training on his own and at home in the pool. And then, we'll do it all without him again.
Yeah, absolutely. Rivas, I know you're a big fan of the Ninja as well. I know you want to get another season out of him. Tell me what you think about the Nainggolan saga in this off-season. And do you reckon he sticks around, bro?
I hope he does, but I mean, I get it. I get why Conte and Marotta want him out. Let's all not forget the phone call that was supposedly recorded last year. Yeah. I hate to say it because I like the guy and I want him to stay. And I feel like, towards the end of the year, he kind of realized, damn, these dudes actually really do give a fuck about me. And, they just want me to improve. But at that point, damage had been done already, And I'd love to see him stay and be given that shot. And I really hope his wife is all right. Cancer.
It's a bitch. Fuck it.
It's a bitch.
It's a bitch, man. And, like, I know thoughts don't do anything, but, we're all thinking about Raja and his wife. And I think a lot, if not most, and all of the fans are hoping that a solution is reached where Raja is sitting on the Inter bench next season, whether it's as a starter or on the bench, literally speaking. But nothing would make me happier than seeing Raja Nainggolan score a goal early in the season and celebrate with that face that he makes. Because I don't know about you boys, you might agree, but a few times last season he looked disinterested, but then he'd pull something out of his ass and you'd see it on his face straight away. That old school grinta ninja that was back once again. It was really evident in that stunning goal that he scored against Juventus. So I'm glad the boys think the same. I hope all the fans think the same. It would just suck massive balls to sign Raja Nainggolan and only get one season out of him. So I'm glad we're all on the same page there. I like to keep it short and sweet usually, and 45 minutes is good enough for me. And I just want to say a big, big thank you to my boys for coming on. It's hard to organize these podcasts from different sides of the world, but the boys have come through again. Mario, did I forget anything today? Anything in the news that I need to keep going on? He wouldn't know shit. Rivas, did I forget anything?
Honestly, I think we covered everything. The only thing, again, I would say is Icardi going off to Ibiza again, and then they're saying he wants to redeem himself. What a joke.
I love Ibiza.
No, I haven't been, so I can't comment on that. The only Ibiza I've been to was a club in D.C. that got closed down a couple years ago.
I've been in a Suzuki Ibiza.
Oh, nice, man. How was it? Did you get lit as fuck?
Oh my God! It was great. We tried to fit like 15 people in it.
Oh,
Yeah, so you pretty much try to pull a Mexican move, put 15 people in a Honda.
All right, man. From all of us here at Inter Worldwide, Mario Galliano, Christian Rivas, and myself, Antonio, we thank you for joining in. Rivas, safe travels back to your homeland whenever it happens. Stay safe. Keep one eye open, my friend.
Of course. If I don't come back, the gangs probably captured me and killed me. And Mario, don't forget to pull out. I know you're a raw dog over there.
Yeah, keep your butthole tight.
Thank you very much for coming on as well, Mario. And who knows, man, if Christian gets captive, maybe we can trade them João Marti or Dalbert or some shit to bring Christian back to the Inter Worldwide podcast. From all of us here at Inter Worldwide, ciao ragazzi, forza Inter.